You've seen the headlines. US tariffs hit Japanese automakers with a 25% levy. Sales still climbed in March, but what does this mean for your next ride? Today's reaction pulls in past move from Toyota, Honda, and Ford to show you how these automotive giants adapted to protect you, the new car buyer. And to stay ahead, before we dive in, if you track auto industry shifts, hit that subscribe button if you're new. We're going to dive in from our feature video from NHK Japan, and they will give you a quick sales roundup at the start. Take a look.
As Japanese automakers try to figure out how to respond to tariffs imposed by the US, Yuko joins us now. So Yuko, you've been poring over the latest numbers. What's your takeaway?
Well, what I can say is good for now, uncertainty ahead. March offers some pretty solid figures, but the outlook is far from clear because of those tariffs. Let's go through the details. All 6 major automakers saw U.S. sales improve in March from the same month last year. Subaru and Mazda saw the biggest gains at more than 16% each. Mitsubishi's rose more than 14%. Hybrids sold especially well. Demand for some models surged before the 25% tariff kicked in this month. Carmakers are cautious about raising prices to pass on the tariff hit. They say they will make decisions based on demand and U.S. government policy. Japan's biggest automaker, Toyota Motor, announced on Wednesday it will make further investments to expand production in West Virginia. Now, this comes as the Trump administration...
Let me pause right there. It's just that, so just to reiterate, drivers actually snapped up hybrids before the 25% tariff kicked in on April 1st. And that suggests buyers weigh future price hikes. And those surge sales gave automakers breathing room, but only for now. The tariff impact and pricing pressure will make automakers facing tough choices. They either swallow the tariff hit or hike the prices. Toyota and Honda say they'll watch the demand and the US policy before raising sticker prices. And if they pass on the full levy, a $30,000 vehicle could jump up to $37,500. And that's a big leap for today's buyers. Your wallet is on the line. Let's continue.
Tries to attract more manufacturing to the U.S. Toyota says it will allocate $88 million to build a production line for hybrid vehicle components. The factory currently makes engines, transmissions, and other parts. The extra spending will bring Toyota's total investment in the plant to more than $2.8 billion. An economist I spoke to says announcing investments is important for car makers to maintain their business in the U.S. But the fact is, it's going to require time and effort.
Toyota's West Virginia player has this move which aims to shift more hybrid output stateside by late 2026. And by making key parts in the U.S., Toyota cuts its tariff exposure. Now, you won't pay the full 25% levy on those components. Instead of importing complex pieces from Japan, they'll roll off the American line. And that should help keep prices a little bit down. Honda is also pushing for local builds. Honda plans to localize up to 90% of US sales by moving output from Mexico and Canada into American plants. And they aim for a 30% boost in US production over 2 to 3 years. Honda's long-standing build where you sell policy dates back to its first US plant in 1982, and that strategy helped Honda avoid past trade frictions, and it gave you models assembled close to home with shorter supply chains. Now, facing the 25% vehicle tariff, Honda leans back into that playbook again. More local builds mean fewer imported vehicles and parts, so fewer tariffs and steadier prices just for you.
It will take time to shift production to the U.S. The earliest possible date will be 1 to 2 years from now. There are cases where even cars made in the U.S. use parts from Japan, Mexico, and other countries. Those parts are also subject to tariffs, so car makers will need to rebuild their supply chains in the U.S. This will take time.
Even if they're more expensive, price tag. He says high-end brands like Lexus, BMW, and Mercedes might survive.
One brand selling cars with original technology is Subaru. The company combines its horizontally opposed boxer engine with its four-wheel drive system. Its function is very unique. There are die-hard fans in the US called Subarists. This type of branding will be essential. When you look at the future global trend, survival will depend on whether firms can roll out driverless cars using AI. Autopilot technology with AI will be necessary for both gasoline engine cars and electric vehicles.
So whatever models companies come out with, executives are facing an extremely difficult business environment.
The automobile global supply chain has been around for 30 years, then assembling, producing, and selling them in high-income countries. The thinking behind Trump's America First policy is to review that global supply chain. Changes are going to be difficult to implement, and after 4 years, it could go back to a free trade system. Management will need to decide whether to think just about 4 years under Trump or to look beyond that.
The car industry has already been going through a major transformation with new players coming out with EVs and autonomous cars coming onto the market. For the Japanese makers, the U.S. tariffs pose yet another challenge to survival.
But here's an example of Trump's America First policy. Take, for instance, Ford. Ford leaned into U.S. production years ago. Over 80% of vehicles it sells in the United States comes off American lines, and that shielded Ford from the worst of the 25% levy. CEO Jim Farley pointed out that with this footprint, Ford faces a roughly 1% to 1.5% price rise on some models, far below its competitors. When tariffs hit, Ford extended employee pricing to soften sticker shock. For you, that tactic kept discounts alive. Long-standing global supply chains funneled parts from low-cost regions into high-income market, as the video says. So rebuilding that chain in the US won't happen overnight. Toyota says shifting full production could take 1 to 2 years. Even US-made cars often use parts from Japan or Mexico to still face tariffs. Car makers must retool and secure new domestic suppliers, and that means extra costs and possible launch delays. Your new car wait times could spike if factories scramble to qualify US-made parts. When price tags inch up, you'll pay for models you really want, and that's why brands push technology and loyalty. As he mentioned, Lexus leans on luxury status. High-end buyers absorb price swings better than mainstream shoppers. But not every model commands that premium. Toyota Corollas won't cost as much as a Lexus NX and still sell in volume. The key is unique selling points that justify a higher price. Tariffs will hit hybrid and gasoline models alike. Looking ahead, driverless tech and electric vehicles offer new margins and incentives. The US government credits EV production, offsetting some tariff pain. Toyota's hybrid investment in West Virginia also preps for future plug-in models. Honda and Ford tie EV output to state incentives and grid-friendly manufacturing. If you want a low-emission car, those credits can shave off thousands of dollars off your final price. And automakers will push those angles to keep you buying. Under the current US administration, tariffs could ease after a few years or even reverse. Management teams at these automakers face a gamble. Invest heavily in the US facilities now or risk paying more if policies flip. Toyota and Honda appear to hedge. Ramp up US parts but keep some production abroad. When traders debate, automakers watch policy signals very closely. Your next car's price will reflect 5-year forecasts as much as today's cost. But let's look again at past lessons from Toyota, Honda, and Ford. Toyota in the 1980s, they built plants in Kentucky and Indiana to dodge trade penalties. And that local footprint helped Toyota grow into America's top seller today. Honda, the first Japanese brand to set up a US car plant in 1982, they integrated local suppliers early, and that playbook now guides their shift from Mexico and Canada lines back into US soil. Ford embraced US assembly for decades with plants in Michigan, Kentucky, and elsewhere. They leveraged employee pricing and regional inventories to weather past downturns and tariffs. Each learned that local production plus targeted marketing lets you buy with confidence even when trade tensions spike. Tariffs add costs, but smart production moves and technology keeps your options alive. Toyota's West Virginia hybrid line, Honda's local production push, and Ford's US assembly focus show you how the biggest names adapt. Your job now is to watch for models built nearby. Check for incentives and focus on features that matter. Reliability, fuel economy, and tech you'll actually use. That way, you'll skip the sticker price. If you found this reaction helpful, like, subscribe, and share. Drop a comment on what strategy you think wins. Toyota's hybrid bet, Honda's local build, or Ford rock-solid US base. See you in the next episode.